Hey everybody, just doing a quick, well, I'm going to try to make it quick anyway. I don't trust myself tone tutorial. I just put my pedal board just how I wanted it, and then I decided to buy this Qtron. So I had to tear it all apart again. I'm down here in my temporary dungeon. So, yeah. See, we got the mayor's signature along with a bunch of junk, and it's just going straight into the Qtron and straight into the guitar. So here are the settings on it. And also the biggest part of getting this tone, and what I don't think I've seen anybody do yet, is the Qtron Plus has a built-in effects loop, and you can put other effects into the chain of the loop itself, so you can kind of marry two effects. Like you can do a Qtron and a Pog, or a Qtron and like a Big Muff or whatever. But I'm pretty sure the way Mayor's running this live right now, I'm pretty sure that he's running a katana into the effects loop just to give it a little boost. I'm not sure on that, but what I have going on right now that works really well for my setup anyway is the Joyo Vintage Overdrive. It's like a $35 pedal, one of the best tube screamers that I've come across. Back the drive down real low, just set the volume around Unity just to thicken it up a little bit. But yeah, I mean it's really dead on. I mean, I'm really happy with the I don't trust myself tones. So here we go. Here's with the Qtron on. I'll play a little bit with the Qtron on, and then I will hit the overdrive in the effects loop of the Qtron, and you can see how well it thickens it up. So here we go. Second position, bridge and middle. Here's with the Qtron off. Qtron on. Alright, now with very light overdrive in the effects loop. And another thing to keep in mind too is this effect is very dynamic. It really depends on picking technique, the output of your pickups. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes into this. For example, if you pick up by the neck pickup, you'll get this kind of sound. It's kind of a lighter filter sound. Now if I do the exact same thing and just move it back, if I pick between the bridge and middle pickup, you'll get a lot more of that filter sound. Another thing too is if you do this with your fingers, it's a little better with the overdrive on. See, if doing with the picking with your fingers will really reduce that Qtron effect to it. And yeah, it's really about it. There's a whole lot of other stuff the Qtron can do. I really haven't messed around with it. I do know one thing, that the gain knob on the Qtron itself is very important, because that will kind of dial in the amount of quack that you get out of the effect. For example, now Mayer's playing I Don't Trust Myself through that Sunburst. It's like a 63, early 64, something like that. And the pickups are a little hotter than the black one, these pickups. So his gain is backed off a little bit. So my gain right now is right at noon, and you get that really nice defined. But now if I back it off to around 10 o'clock, to where he has it, that quack is much more reduced. Now let's bring it between here and where I did have it. So let's put it right around 11:30, give or take. And that sounds really good right there. But you can really just play with it. And it also depends what kind of overdrive you're using in the effects loop. It depends if the pedals are among other pedals or just by itself. Pretty much these settings here are a really good starting point. But really the only thing that you got to remember is keep the peak rolled all the way off, because you don't want that. Well, here's with the peak on. It's right at noon here. It's that really thin, narrow kind of wah sound. I don't like it. And another thing is, if you have the gain set too high, it really doesn't do much. Here's the gain at 3 o'clock. The overload light is flashing all over the place. So these pickups here, let's see, I'm at 1 o'clock right now. Overload's still kind of going, but you get, it's one of these less is more type things. So this is right before noon, the gain. that's a very fun effect, and it's going to sound different if you have an overdrive before it. It's going to sound different if you have an overdrive after it. It's going to sound different if you have a booster or a compressor on. It's very sensitive to what else is going on with it. But that's why that effects loop comes in handy so much with that overdrive. Yeah, here's with the overdrive. Oh, and the overdrive, I have the drive set to 9 o'clock and the volume at noon, so it's really not pushing much. Here's without it. Still sounds good, but it's just it doesn't have it. So yeah, I feel free to ask any questions. I'm always down for talking gear, talking different guitar builds, talking pedals, talking amps, talking anything. So just hit me up. Yeah, I hope this helped everybody out there that's been looking for it. This is my #1 tone question as far as Mayer goes. Is just that auto wah sound. Cool. Thanks, guys.